Yippity yeah.
I have a green bar. We should be live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to 3 Galaxies Battle Royale.
I mean, everything's a battle royale now.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's all up to you guys. You guys could absolutely refuse to fight people. You could turn into conscientious objectors, and then there'd be no combat. It'd also be very short sessions.
We've also had like 2 combats total since going to 5th edition, so yeah, let's do the thing.
Yeah, I know. We've had a few.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few.
No.
We've had Slim.
We've had 2.
We've had Slim. We've had the Gatling guns.
I can understand if you don't want to consider them an actual fight, but you had those pirates.
Oh God, that's right.
Oh God, right. Okay, so 3, but that wasn't. I mean, that wasn't like.
Though to be fair, I can understand if you don't count them as a real threat.
Well, they also were not recorded or streamed, so.
A fair point. You know, the pirates that tried to take over.
The ones that couldn't talk right?
Yeah, the ones that couldn't talk right. And
did we fight them?
Well, kind of. You threw their captain overboard.
Technically, Kid did, thank you.
Yeah, we threw their captain overboard, and then we proceeded to try and help them. They were thankful and fucking left.
The dangerousest.
You guys are all right. We're gonna leave. Bye. It's basically what happened.
More or less.
Trust me.
Yeah. But yeah, you have a fair point. There have not been many fights. It's all been building up for this moment. This one right here. Get ready. Roll initiative.
Oh, okay. Let me pull up my.
Oh, damn it.
Sheet.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Last session, you guys had a diplomatic relations with a bunch of people that you know through various methods and means. No, you had diplomatic. You had a meeting between Vector and Anna's father and Anna's mother and a kid that Anna doesn't know. Like, I also almost that entire meeting could be put from the view of who Kid or Anna do or don't know.
Yeah.
And
or
things went better.
Or
than you
who does number 2 work for?
Yeah, who does number 2 work for? Things went a bit better than you could have expected. The group managing to kind of turn Vector on your side, playing off the fact that Vector's kind of a religious zealot. He has very specific goals in mind, and he's willing to do almost anything to accomplish them. And you managed to convince him that that doesn't necessarily have to mean fighting each other. And he is going to actually give you guys a back door into the Nerve building. However, he did also let you know that if you want, you need the other Lucas, the Lucas with the mustaches. Which, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and Piph.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this outright because I'm not going to let there be, if we ever get to that point, there's not going to be 2 Lucases in combat. So I'm going to leave it up to you, but the other Lucas has to be somehow rationalized not fighting.
All right.
However you want that to be, if he's a conscientious objector, if he's just too powerful, he's afraid that it'll destroy the world. I don't know.
I'm sorry, is he Shaggy?
I know, right? It's completely up to you, but I'm sorry.
yo-yos.
I'm not giving the group 2 Lucases.
Yeah. Let's not.
But you have to get to him first. Right now, he is a thrall controlled by a vampire named Master that you have all met before. Well, not all of you, but a lot of you have met before. You're going to have to free the other Lucas from their control, which is a floor below where you hope to enter the building. And then you have a floor that contains the remainder of... Well, the whole building is technically Anna's father's. though it's been cordoned off. Everyone's kind of adopted a level for themselves. Anna's father is on level 3, and then Kid's mother has taken level 4, the highest level, because of all the venting, and it turned it into basically a giant genetic laboratory. So, you guys need to move within the next 2 days. If you want to take advantage of Vector's what is it, backdoor, if you want to call it that. But that does give you guys a little bit of time to prepare. You did discuss a little bit about how you guys want to proceed. Kid had a conversation with Ryle that they were not very fond of at all. Something about, if you go into battle and leave me behind, you're not really my friend. Huff, huff. Adelum, we found out, is not a techno wizard, but my gosh, he sure wants to be, and is kind of starstruck by the fact that you guys are friends with Cathor, one of the greatest technomancers in the world, which you guys have known for a very long time. He is considered a legend among the techno wizarding community.
I think that's why we kidnapped him.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Which, again, consensual or not, kind of a kidnapping.
Yeah, I don't remember how much choice we actually gave him.
You did. You kind of did. But, I mean, it wasn't much of a choice. It was stay here and die, or come with us.
I mean, to be fair, that feels more like a rescue, okay?
It does.
It was like how a firefighter looks at you in the middle of a burning building and goes, well, you can either come with me or you can die.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
I was waiting for it.
And you guys even went through a whole bunch of trouble to get Rapture while still leaving Rapture behind. You guys put in the effort. Which, if I say that out of context, no one's going to understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
yes.
I know.
They got a future version of Rapture from a museum so that they could leave the old version of Rapture behind, who would eventually get picked up and moved to the museum so that they could be rescued and united with Cathor.
Yeah, that sounds like something we did.
In the future.
We also made a fake Rapture, and I can't even remember if we replaced the actual Rapture with it back on the planet, but we made plans to do it.
No, I don't think that was the plan. Was to leave that Rapture there because it needed to be. You just left that Rapture behind.
No. I'm talking about Televax
in
planet.
the museum.
In the museum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't
we
remember
never
if we
did that.
actually did that. Yeah.
Nope.
I
Kid
don't
sure
think
didn't
you
leave
did.
anything behind. They just grabbed the sword and was like, "Oh, it's talking to me," and threw it at Isaac.
By the way, if
we
anyone
needed
happens
the
to
sword.
peruse the police reports in Zebron of late,
Son of a bitch.
I'm always looking for my name in the news reports. What are you talking about?
You will hear of the mysterious case where vandals, for some reason, well, not for some reason, I suppose there'd be a lot of money in it, but destroyed a cultural artifact and stole it, and probably have sold it on the black market, never to be seen again. It's a travesty.
Man, they were
That
so
sounds
nice
like us.
too. They were so nice. I feel so bad.
They just wanted tourists.
Yeah.
You didn't steal anything. Rapture wanted you to take it. They just don't understand. Because,
It's a
again,
sentient sword being stuck in a case.
yeah, they didn't know it was sentient.
You didn't choose to
None
talk
of
to
them
them.
touched it.
Well, none of them touched it with hands, no. It was less that no one touched it, and more that I know. It was more
Sorry.
It was more that Rapture. You guys haven't noticed this as much, because to be quite fair and honest, you guys are a group of heroes. But Rapture's a little picky who he decides to talk to. Your characters happen to be people with very forceful personalities. That's pretty par for the course for D&D characters. Let's be fair here. But he was on a planet full of mostly pacifist isn't the right word, but very very laid back, passive aggressive people. Yeah.
Passive-aggressive people.
Oh my god, that culture. So passive-aggressive. If Post-it notes were used in Congress, that would be what that culture is like.
Good
What
Lord.
are they, Canadians?
Maybe.
That makes me feel even worse.
But no, Rapture spoke with you guys, not only because it remembered you, but also because you are very forceful and I can't think of the word. Exceptional people. Every single one of you.
I don't think Anna's ever touched him.
No,
Like,
I think Kid and whoever, I think maybe it was Kid and I think Isaac's touched Rapture before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lucas also has. I think it's just Anna going, haha, no.
Yeah. But so we'll open this session up where you guys have 2 days to prepare. You know that you're going to be going in hot, for lack of a better term, into the nerve building. I believe Vector said, I can't remember exactly if he said it or not, but consider him have saying this if he didn't, that you, even if you enter in through a back door, even if he gets you in there, of course, the security in that building is going to make it clear fairly soon that there are intruders there. So you might be able to get a drop on someone, but you're not going to get a drop on everyone, if that makes sense. So you know you're going in and this is going to be dangerous. You have 2 days to prepare and to relax and enjoy yourselves. So we'll go ahead and start kind of loosely. And I'm going to throw the ball in your court. What do you guys want to do?
Burn, did you want to go first?
No. I have to put my cat out.
I have
She's
a
climbing
sequence
on my keyboard. I'm sorry.
I have a sequence of events that I want to do first.
Okay. Does it involve Jenga?
No. Well,
Okay.
no.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I can potentially make it work, but we're going to have to move things around till Monday.
Scheduling this around.
Anyways, first, Anna is going to go look for Kather.
Okay,
I missed her name. Cathor, thank you. That's how you pronounce it.
Cathor is in the modification workshop working on a device to hurl a golden orb at another golden orb. Should you ever find that golden orb? The device. He's versatile. The device he's working on is to hurl one object at another object. Really, it could be almost anything. You could like hurl apples at each other. It'd probably work.
You're gonna say hurl kid.
I mean, a small one, like toddler or below, sure.
Okay. This is the wrong mood to go into this.
How aerodynamic is a
Squee, kid is well past their toddler phase. Thank you very much. They're a whole 5 years old.
Debatable.
Maybe 6. Okay, I haven't been keeping track.
I'm just putting that out there. Still like their juice and crackers.
I still like my juice and crackers.
Yeah.
I
you
do
have
not
something
change my
against
argument.
Apple juice?
I am
Squee?
not changing my argument.
Wow, that's so rude.
I am 22, thank you.
I don't believe they actually denote an age at which toddlership ends.
I am paying bills. Anyways.
Sorry, but yes, you go to Cathro's modification workshop.
Yeah. She's gonna go up to him, very somber, unlike my laughing tone right now, and asks, "Do you have a minute, by any chance?"
You see Cathor, he's bent over a workbench with very delicate tools working on a circuit board. And it looks like maybe he's soldering something very tiny. And he's wearing some form of golden, like, rimmed goggles. And he looks up at you, and it's the type of goggles that make his eyes, like, 3 times bigger. As a magnification. He looks up and he goes, "Ah, Anna, what can I do for you?"
I have a question that I'm not even sure you could answer, but you're probably the best bet on the ship.
He flips the goggles up.
Is there a possibility of reversing the effects of someone being turned into a cyborg.
Well, and he kind of leans back. Define what you mean by reversing.
I doubt there's enough of his real body left to put it back in that, but just at least make him more humanoid or whatever he would want.
He crosses his arms. Absolutely. One of the great versatilities of being a Borg is that you can change your... He hesitates. This is obviously, and I'm going to ask for details in a moment, something very sensitive to you, so please don't take me for being crass. I am simply going to tell you the facts. Fair?
That's what I want.
Good. A cyborg can change their chassis, if you'd like to call it that, fairly easily. It is the brain and the spine that must remain intact, if you can keep that intact, and it's fairly easy to do. Believe it or not, most Borgs do not actually keep their brain in their head. It's our bodies, and he points to his head, incredibly inefficient design for combat. It's so exposed. Their brain is usually kept more towards the center of their body. You don't damage that, and you don't damage the chassis that they're in so badly that it can no longer support the brain or stem. And you could potentially put it in any kind of body you'd like. You could make one that is far more human-like. If you spent exorbitant sums of money and found someone talented enough to do it, you could even give them a body that feels and looks biological. This is definitely doable. The cyborg process does not destroy their humanity. Well, he hesitates. You can't destroy one's humanity, otherwise you have a lifeless husk, but cyborg bodies do have... There are governors that you can install that would, I suppose you say, suppress their... That would make things slightly more complicated, but to answer your question, yes, it is doable if they're not too badly damaged.
That I was honestly expecting a no.
The brain, no. That's the wrong terminology. The mind of a person is a very durable thing. It can survive a lot. Now, I can't tell you that if they were to go through such a process, they wouldn't be scarred, but a strong individual could certainly withstand it. Who, in particular, are we discussing?
How much do you know about my father?
Very little, I'm afraid. I've been keeping my ear to the ground to more or less what's been happening, but I have been quite busy. If I understand correctly, your father is some sort of crime lord that is now working with your enemies.
Yes. And when I ran away 5-6 years ago, he turned my boyfriend into one.
Ah, I see.
And seems to have turned him into his... I don't want to say lackey, but I don't know how much control over him he has.
Against his will?
Probably.
I see. That's a tricky proposition. Many people will turn an individual into a Borg to acquire total obedience. This is a fairly common tactic among tasteless individuals. As I said before, there are governors that you can install in a Borg to suppress an emotion and demand obedience. These are tricky devices to get around. If you wish to help your beau, I would tread very carefully around him and his owners. But however you do it, you would need to free him, liberate him, I suppose you could say, without destroying the brain and spine inside of it.
So what you're saying... Go.
He'd say, the limbs, And exterior can be damaged fairly well. You just want to avoid the power source that generates, nutrients to the center.
So what you're saying is my next plan of trying to contact him through code and meet up with him before we go into the tower is probably a bad idea?
He starts rummaging through a table full of gizmos and he goes, "Oh, a very bad idea, my dear. If he was turned into a Borg, he would be compelled to report against you until the governors can be shut down. You must either convince his handlers to do so, or, well, you can use more forceful methods as well. Just be careful." He goes, and pulls out a small device. And as he walks over to you, he goes, "A governor is generally controlled through biometrics, meaning an object installed in the owner's body. After all, how else could you be sure that you'll always have it on hand, so to speak?" And he'll hand you what looks like in today's terminology, it almost looks like a digital camera, right? It's a small box with a lens on it with a viewport in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like a view screen in the back. He says, "You might find this of use. Different Borgs have different designs, and I can't possibly guess what design his is. This handy little device, though, it will help you analyze it very quickly and discover where the brainstem and brain are, as well as the power source that sustains them."
Thank you. Would killing the handler, using your terminology, would that end it? Or would I just be...
Many governors are set to do one of two things for the owner's own safety. Either destroy the Borg upon their death, under the idea that if they were killed, the Borg either failed in its mission or was the one that killed them and will be gaining retribution. Or the other option I have seen with some particularly nasty governors is that it will completely shut down all of their emotion centers and drive them into a berserker rage. It's more of a vengeance, if you catch my drift. Or there could be nothing at all. I really can't say. I can only say what I have seen. And please understand, I've seen them. I have not dealt with them extensively. I personally find it utterly distasteful.
You've given me more information than I had when I walked into the room.
He nods. That is what I'm here for. I wish I could be of more help. If you do free him, I guess would be the proper term, and bring him to me, damaged or not, I'm sure that I can set up a place to keep him safe until we can find a more qualified individual to work upon him. I am no cutter. and Anna, you would know cutter is more terminology for a cyborg doctor.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just being poetic.
No. That's like common slang for a doctor that works on cyborgs or Borgs.
Fitting.
Yeah, isn't it? And he says, "I can certainly make sure to set up some sort of first aid bay or charging station, something of that nature, to keep him safe and contained until one can work on him. If he does go berserk, as I said it does not mean that all hope is lost. As I said, it suppresses the human side. No governor I have ever seen can destroy it."
That is also good to know.
He nods. "Good luck, my dear."
Thank you. Oh. Okay, well that kind of stops the rest of my sequence of events I wanted to do.
Oh. I'm sorry, did I destroy your roleplay?
No, it was more he kind of convinced her not to contact him and meet up with him. That was the rest of it.
Aha. But he gave you such delightful information.
Oh, he gave me way more information than it was more just I was expecting a yes or no answer. For some reason it didn't occur to me he might actually have more information.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. As Anna decides not to contact her, or possibly, you guys never technically broke up, did you?
No, it's kind of complicated.
In a gray area.
It sure is.
He might be seeing other people. I don't know.
Well, technically, he's still an X.
Gray.
He's still an X. It's just X-human.
Oh,
Get out, Burn.
Burn, get out.
X.
I'll leave the call. Bye.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm back in the call, guys.
All right. So who's next? Anna did the thing.
I had a thing, but in case anybody else had one, go for it.
Anna, now there's more time for Jenga. See? Freeing up space.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we don't have to do it on Monday now.
Sorry. All right. Yeah, does anyone else want to go before Isaac?
I did want to solidify like whether or not Ryle's coming along because apparently somebody remembers a conversation about this, but I sure as fuck don't.
I mean, I'm saying yes.
I remember lightly touching on it after the session, but I don't remember like deciding. I'm gonna say yeah because I want him. I want him to still be our friend. Damn it!
Oh my god, he doesn't actually mean it. He's too much of a weenie.
Shut up.
You don't know that.
Oh, I absolutely know that. Don't even try and shit on.
But
you give him fish.
If he does come along, then I don't want him to be too harmed. So, just be careful about that. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Because you guys aren't assaulting the outside of the building, you're assaulting the inside of the building. You don't want to like try and summon him in a hallway where he's just gonna squash everyone. But I mean, I will say you've seen the building. It is a big building, so there's probably places in there where there is room. Certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, considering at least one of those rooms has to be able to contain an elephant-sized mammal, there should be room for him.
Yeah.
Just don't summon him in like the women's bathroom. You'll be fine.
The men's bathroom's fine.
Well, urinals take up less space, I guess.
Yeah, they don't have to be squared in by the stalls.
Yeah. Don't summon him in any bathrooms. Let's just say that. Let's be safe here.
Like, the heads of the building are kind of jackasses, but the staff don't need to go through this. At least save the bathrooms.
They need a place to hide.
So is the consensus you will take him in the gym and maybe possibly use him?
Yeah.
My God, I could just imagine you guys after it's all over, you bring Ryle out. Hey, we didn't have to fight at all. How crazy is that?
Right? It's amazing.
They just exploded and surrendered.
It's the destruction around? Lucas did it.
Don't worry about it. Isaac's always been missing that leg. It's fine.
Don't jinx yourself.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
we've got enough missing limbs in this party.
Trying to identify with Heart.
Yeah.
All right, so gotcha. Looks like that's been settled. Anyone else? Anything before Isaac does his stuff?
I mean, my stuff isn't really that major.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and do yours, and then we'll move to what you guys want to do to prepare for 2 days from now. So, what did you want to do first, Isaac?
He's just going to talk to Heart.
Oh, okay. So Heart wasn't at the meeting. Heart is also, she's not in the modification workshop. She'd be in the armory and fabrication workshop, working on.
In her
Cathor
workshop.
is more working on the what would you call the engineering and concept?
Yeah.
Heart is more handling the construction.
Mm-hmm.
So Heart would actually be probably on like a little roller pad on her back, rolled up under what's starting to look like an apparatus of some kind. But she'd be in her trademark oil covered or oil spotted coveralls. Her hair done up in pigtails that kind of drag on the floor. It's one thing you've noticed a lot, Isaac. She needs to wash her hair way more than the average person because she doesn't seem to care how dirty it gets.
That's fine. She does wash her hair, though, right?
Oh, yeah, she cares how dirty it gets. It's one of those things like when she's done working on stuff, she's always complaining about it. So she washes it regularly. It's just that whenever she is working, she never seems to take the time to secure it.
That's no big deal. That's fine. So he's gonna walk in and walk up to the device and go, "What you making?"
Wrench. Hand comes out from underneath it.
He'll hand a wrench to her.
Puts it back in there. I am making a highly complex, intricate, and dignified catapult.
Ah, I see. You're going with my design then, sorta.
Spanner. Hold out a hand.
All right. Well, wait. Okay, he'll
Spanner.
take the wrench out of her hand and then hand it back to her.
She like motions it back towards you. That's just the same wrench. I can feel it.
He'll grab the spanner.
She'll like
which
snap
is a wrench.
and then point. She'll point, but like where she's pointing, there's like a bench full of tools.
Oh God. Okay.
Roll me an intelligence check, Isaac.
Okay. Boom. 22.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ah.
You know, you've been with maybe. So yeah, spanner, wrench, very subtle differences, but there is a slight one, and you're like, oh, she probably means this one. You hand that to her.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take a while. It's not gonna be done for a bit. It's very it's like making the most awesome children's toy ever made.
But it's a catapult.
But yes, but a catapult that's extremely precise.
That's really cool.
I think so.
So we had our meeting.
And hearing that, she'll stop and then kind of roll out from under the device. And you see kind of a strange thing. It takes a second at first for you actually to understand what you're seeing. One of her arms is lifted back up under the device and is extended and split into several metallic tentacles. And it takes you a second, and you're like, "Oh, right, her arms." But it looks like has extended her arm and is using it to work on the device
While still paying attention to me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Okay. That's a little freaky. That's not in character, by the way.
Right. Understood.
He'll say, yeah, so, you may not like this, but we were able to convince Vector that we're actually on the same side. And that we're helping each other.
So get him to release my father.
I think that is one of the things we're planning on doing.
Okay. Why wouldn't I like that?
Because it won't be immediate.
Oh. Well, then you'll probably be too late.
What do you mean?
Well, that other Corsair group's already on it.
Yeah, that's true.
She taps like a radio attached to her overalls. Been listening to it the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sarah tapped me in. It's going well.
I didn't know that they were doing it already.
They are very passionate group.
I see. Well, okay.
That
so,
said, if you can get Vector to free him, maybe do that still.
Oh, okay. Okay. He said that he's planning on doing it. But anyways, he thinks we're on the same side.
Okay.
We're still planning on eventually going after him for everything he did. But he's not going to be at the facility.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, actually. And with that, her arm will kind of draw up into an arm, and she'll fully roll out. Again, very disturbing, but she does it as if, every day.
Yeah.
And she rolls up and stands up. I've been so angry at him, I can hardly think straight. And I want revenge, but that's not right, Isaac. I've never wanted to hurt anyone before. When I think about what Vector did to Pa, I'm angry. I'm very, very, very angry. And if I think about it too long, I'm afraid of where my mind goes.
Okay. So you're perfectly okay with letting him go?
What? No, I don't know. I want Father back. I want him safe. I want us all safe. I want to make sure that Vector doesn't hurt anyone else again. But does that mean that we have to... I don't know,
Doesn't
Isaac.
necessarily mean we need to kill him. There is some poetic justice in actually putting him in the same prison that he put Pa in.
She kind of slowly nods, and then she kind of leans up against the... Isaac, before you came out here, you were like a lawman, right?
Yeah.
So you'd be familiar with this. What exactly does justice mean? How do I know if what I'm feeling is vengeance or justice?
Well, see, here's the thing. What you're feeling is probably vengeance, but he has done a lot of things. A lot of things. Like when we rescued Miss Felina. He shot up that care center and harmed and killed several people. Just so she wouldn't be alive. So we could use her against him.
I had a conversation with Miss Felina. She isn't angry at him. She pities him.
Yeah.
She said he wasn't always like that. That he just believes in something so strongly that I don't know, Isaac. I can't understand what he thinks or why. But Pa always believes that if someone wrongs you, you wrong them back. That the world isn't going to do you any favors, and if you let people walk all over you, if you don't make examples, then you eventually will be walked on so hard that you never get up again. Do you believe that?
Well, I can tell you this much, that's what my grandfather believed.
Is that what justice means? Is that what all people who follow the law do?
Well, where I'm from, we follow We follow a thing called frontier justice. It's not necessarily like laws, like hard laws that you can kind of skirt around. There's things you should do, things you shouldn't do, and pretty high on the list is don't kill people. And usually the penalty for that is to ship them off to another place to have them incarcerated for a very long time, or you shoot them back.
I don't know, I'm so confused, Isaac. I've never killed anyone before. And for the first time in my life, I found myself wanting to.
Yeah. Vengeance will do that. It'll tear you apart. But the thing is, you won't have to.
Have you ever killed someone you regretted killing?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You say it so easily.
Yeah.
She kind of like sits there thinking about it.
It can change you. But at the end of the day, what they do, what they have done, is paramount. You need to save people at the end of the day. And sometimes people can change, sometimes people can't change.
How do you know? How do you know which that is? What if Vector can change? What if he can't? How am I supposed to know that?
What I wanted to talk to you about was he's not going to be there, so if you don't want to, you don't have to come with us. We can figure out what we want to do with Vector later. But it's going to be a tough decision.
What do you want?
What do I want? I want Pa back. I want him to pay some way for doing what he's done to the people that he murdered.
What I mean is, do you want me there?
I think that it would be nice if you were to be there. Because of a couple of things, really. It would set your mind at ease, being able to always know that I'm fine, that I'm safe. And the laboratory up there is something that has a lot of biological and mechanical technology that might be useful for us. For you specifically.
Okay. All right. I want to come.
Okay.
But Isaac, I want you to promise me that you're not going to let me do anything I regret. I don't like this feeling.
I promise.
She'll give you a big hug.
He'll give it back. And give her a smooch on the forehead.
You get grease on your lips, you silly man.
Yeah, well. He'll wipe it off. It's no big deal.
And then she'll go, anyway, lots to do. Catapults to make.
Yes.
And then she'll like start rolling back under there.
Yeah. And he'll leave.
As you walk out the door, you see Adelum like leaning up against the door, or leaning up against beside the door, Just head down, contemplative.
Yes.
He'll look up at you. I think maybe I owe you a bit of an apology.
For what?
Well, keeping my nose out of conversations never really been a strong suit of mine. I, for the past few days, have been looking at you, I guess the same way I always did, like a child. I think today, the conversation I just overheard was the conversation of a man.
Yeah. I went and grew up.
So you did.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, he'll just turn around and start wandering away.
Isaac's not going to stop him.
I pull out a cigarello. No.
No.
He just turns the corner.
If he wanted to be there, he could have totally been there for Isaac.
Oh, he's just nosy.
Yeah.
He's probably going to a room when he's alone. My son.
Probably.
Yeah. So
wow. That was a lot more heart-wrenching than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky thing because in D&D, party members and a lot of NPCs are combat-oriented, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys, basically what Heart's going through, all of you have been through at some point, but generally in the past, before you got to this point.
Yeah.
So this
we're
isn't
good to
usually
murder.
something that you see in a D&D campaign. Yeah. Well, maybe Kid never went through that. I don't know. Did Kid ever go through that existential crisis?
What of the whole, they might be a good person and I might be a bad person for killing them
Right.
thing. Not yet.
Kid's young. Give her time.
I think there was like a brief moment when Hellhound and them were burning the body where they were just like, yeah, you gotta be careful and you gotta protect the people that you're around and you gotta suppress that thing that you've got going, and Kid's just like, okay.
Like there was almost a moment there, but no.
Yeah, not really.
Gotcha. All right. Any other interactions right now?
Not me.
Okay. Then let's say this. What plans do you guys want to place? I know it's kind of hard to plan because you're not exactly sure what you're going into. You know that that you're going to be going to separate floors. You know that you're going to be cutting the building off from the rest of Zebron by transporting it through space and time, though that's not very specific.
Yeah.
You do kind of know some of what you might be up against. Anna, your character would know this from past experience. You know that your father typically employs highly trained guards that wear heavy body armor and carry big guns. That's typically the way. Your father's all about appearances. He wants to look intimidating, not just be intimidating.
So he's hiring these guys. These are not people that actually are part of the syndicate.
No, these are people that are part of the syndicate.
Okay.
But his enforcers, if you want to call them that, all typically follow the same motif. Heavy battle armor, big guns.
Okay.
You weren't the norm, but I mean that was also kind of, you were his ringer, so to speak. He's not the kind of guy
to that on a regular basis.
Right. He's not the kind of guy that deployed or employed a lot of subterfuge and assassinations. He was more of a fix your problem with a giant stick kind of guy.
Yeah, like instead of knocking, you take C4 to the door. Hey, how's that?
That is an apt analogy of her father.
Yeah.
Hey, Isaac, you wanted to do that once.
Yeah?
So you know that if you tangle with him, you're probably looking at a lot of firepower. Not tons of people. Your father never did like to keep around giant numbers of enforcers, and from what you found or heard in the meeting, he's not doing so well money-wise.
Yeah, no, I have a plan for this.
You guys know that more likely than not, you're going to be facing off against some form of vampires. And Kid wouldn't have some information as to what you might run into if you run into her siblings. So you'll have to, of course, you all have to share this information with each other, but you do have some idea of what you could run into.
Okay.
So, meeting in Starlock?
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. I don't know where Indigo's token is, but assume she's there.
Okay. Does anyone want to go first?
So, I'm just gonna put this out there. I hate vampires. I don't like vampires. Vampires fucking scare me. So I don't want to deal with them first. Please?
Would it... Excuse me for not knowing much about vampires. It's not something I've encountered. Is there something to do with the day and night with them?
Yeah. They... Correct me if I'm wrong, Squee, because it's been very long since I read the source book. They particularly aren't very active during daytime because they are weakened and are fearful of daytime unless you are a master. And even then,
Correct.
It's not good for them. They get the willies.
Masters, right? Masters are not fond of the day too.
Yeah.
So typically, vampires. You're absolutely right. Vampires are lethargic during the day. Most of the time, they sleep through the day. They can be awake, but they do not like it. They're slow. They're lethargic, like I said. Masters are an exception, but even they aren't at their best in daytime. They do not like sunlight. Sunlight hurts. It burns like elven rope on golem. Again, masters are more resistant, but they are not immune. They also do not like standing in the sunlight. It hurts them. This would also include spells that involve the daylight. Though, if I remember correctly, Daylight Globe will keep them away, but I don't think it hurts them. They just won't enter it. They just don't. I mean, so I guess it's never been tested because no vampires ever entered one to find out.
If I recall correctly, you are correct. They do not get harmed by Globe of Daylight. However, masters can fight through the aversion from the Globe of Daylight.
Right. But the
drones cannot. They are repelled.
So, like, half the weaknesses vampires have, masters don't, or have a lesser version of it.
Yeah.
They still have no resistance to running water. I mean, they're still hurt just like anyone else. Anyone else? Yeah, anyone else is hurt by running water. No. But the thing is that when you say running water, you're talking about streams, jets. You know, you're not talking about a squirt gun, or like a super soaker.
There are squirt guns that do harm them.
Sure, holy water.
Usually No, they're Techno-Wizard devices.
Oh, okay, yes. That is a thing that does exist.
Because magic.
The wooden stake to the heart.
Ooh. Ooh. What if we were to lean on Constantine when we eventually go fight them? Figure out where the water supply for the sprinklers are, and then bless that. then just activate the sprinklers with the vampires. That's running water. Running holy water. Aha!
Are we really gonna pull a blade?
That was Constantine, not Blade.
Was it? I thought there was a... No, you're right.
Yeah. Constantine...
There was a shower scene in Blade as well.
Yeah, but that was a shower of blood. Trust me.
That was
those
a shower of blood.
Yeah, those two are my favorite movies of all time.
They had the opposite effects. One the vampires loved, the other one much.
Yeah. Although the other one was more demons, but yeah.
I can tell you because Father Retu is with you. I can tell you that he would be like, well, such a thing might be possible if I had a few weeks to bless that much water. It is not simple or an easy process. Some people believe or thought that it was as simple as saying a prayer over water. I assure you it is very much complicated than that. But I can prepare some.
Dang. Okay. That's fine.
He shrugs.
Can we buy 50 liters of it on the black market?
Is there a black market for holy water?
Probably.
And roll me an intelligence check as Father Retu shrinks down to a normal size.
Is there a holy market?
All right.
And it's not holy.
Still, you would know this. There is almost no black market on Zebron. Finmuki is the extent of the black market on Zebron because, and all of you have kind of dealt with this before at some point. Black market in Zebron does not go well if the Corsairs, if the core of the Corsairs, let black markets thrive in their home, that would seriously damage their reputation for being bounty hunters. So black market on Zebron is very small, very discreet, and exists solely because Finmuki has a deal with the CDF. So there's not a huge black market on Zebron. Anna, you've never heard of holy water before. You've never heard of vampires before. They just don't seem to be a market for such a thing here.
Never know.
Right? It's very true. I mean, it's like perusing eBay. You never know what you'll find.
Kid?
Okay. So hear me out. What if we got, 50 priests? And then just had them blessing a shit ton of water?
Oh.
Guys, we can't sneak 50 priests into...
No, we can't, but I'm sure there's some way to, I don't know, make a small pocket dimension of, shit tons of water and then just, let it out like a fire hose at them. Who fucking knows?
There's a very easy... We even talked about doing this during one of the heists. There's a very easy way to do that. And I don't know where we're gonna get thousands of gallons of water.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we're gonna get that. It might take a bit of looking.
Perhaps
a lot
fucking
of money.
Water dimension.
That's a good idea. Do you know where to find one?
You have an ocean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have 50 priests?
No.
I think
you
that
make
would be
me sad.
Hey, Father Retu, do you have any buddies?
Hey, do you have friends?
As he's told Lucas from the start, he's the only one he knows that still follows this religion.
Other than Isaac.
There's a few converts that he's made, but he's the only practicing minister that he's aware of.
Other than Isaac.
That's true. And I believe he remarked on that. It was nice to finally meet another. Though you do, and you have found, you've compared notes. Your version is much closer to the, I guess, common day version of Christianity. Since he's farther removed from the source, is a bit different.
More the wolfen,
maybe a little bit
tooth and claw based.
So you've got 2 priests.
Yay. And we've got 48 hours.
Mm-hmm. The time crunch is really the problem, because it is conceivable you have the water. It's conceivable you could build a device to pump it like a giant
It's
fire
still
hose.
running water.
Exactly.
It is.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So here's the deal: in order for the running water to take effect, you need a forceful and large stream of it, something like a fire hose, not a garden hose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, certainly something like that could be doable, but you'd have to find a way to get it connected to the ocean in your ship, from the ship to the building, and from the building to where you need in the building. And that's certainly doable. You're more than welcome to try. You've got 2 days.
Hmm.
We got the doors.
Yeah, we have the doors. I mean,
And if we line things up, we can flood the floor. Because is there going to be anything stopping us from grabbing the doors on the other side and moving them?
I don't know. Are they one-time use, Squee?
You don't know.
Hmm.
You know your end of it, which is your end is the receiver, not the power source, if that makes sense.
Man, I wish this would work, but we don't have enough time, I don't think.
You do have something that you haven't pulled out in a very long time that Hart made for you.
Which one's that?
It's like a giant water backpack.
Except we gave that to Father Retu.
Who is on our ship.
Who is on your ship.
But
though, to be fair, he didn't take that with him.
No, I thought it broke.
What?
Well, yeah, so in the fight, it was heavily damaged. Though, I mean, it's something that you could conceivably repair in 2 days, that you'd have to go get it.
Yeah.
Or you can see if you can cobble one together. I mean, I don't, you guys are getting so disheartened, I know, because you're in such a time constraint. I don't want to take away all your options. You can try and go see if you can cobble one together, or you know, I'm sorry, I hate being a GM that says, I don't know. Oh, just learn create water. You'll be fine.
Yeah, learn create water. I have it as one of the things I could learn, one of the scrolls I got, but the thing is that takes like a couple of weeks.
A week?
So,
I know.
Yeah.
But you can read it once. You can read it once.
No. That's too much of a waste.
I will say this. If Father Retu gets to work on it now, in 48 hours, he could bless 10 vials of holy water.
I mean, it better have some than none.
Sure.
Yeah, that is fantastic. The part that I'm having trouble with is how to create a vacuum. Because,
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, so what we could do is very easily just fucking... We have another bathroom. Just flood this area. Like, weld the doors shut, weld everything shut so it's watertight. Flood the area and have a vacuum tied up to a pocket dimension. Okay? So it's constantly filling up that pocket dimension. And then on the other side is the hose head, or whatever, that we bring into the building, that we just turn on, and because it's vacuum pressured, it shoots out the end. Like, I'm trying to figure out an easy way
honestly,
to do a vacuum.
if you can... Well, I can even save you a little time and effort there. If you can figure out how to get from your ship to their building, all you'd really need to do is open the door to the ocean, and that will be all the pressure you need.
I mean, yeah, that's
it's
true.
a bloody ocean. So if you could somehow get a nozzle connected to your bathroom aquarium window and then somehow get that into the building, you will have no need for a vacuum.
Yeah, so basically all it would need is let's draw some shapes. Ha. Okay, so let's go with green this time. Okay, so let's just say boom, boom, pocket dimension. So that's all it would need, is just keep it open, siphon into a pocket dimension, but it's closed until we're in the building and we have the other end of that pocket dimension, which is a hose nozzle. We turn on the hose nozzle, boom, pressure.
All right. And then here's the part where I have to be bad GM again. What pocket dimension?
I don't know how to make pocket dimensions, but we've made several, so Cathor will be the one that knows
Not
how
in
to
2 days, you haven't.
Fuck.
Techno Wizard devices take a lot of time to make.
Yeah, no, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. None whatsoever. That was basically the only thing I could come up with was pocket dimension shenanigans, because I mean it's the easiest, so yeah, no.
And Isaac
Anyways.
would have some experience with it because he's been looking into making guns with small pocket dimensions in them. So it's not like you wouldn't be familiar with the idea, certainly.
Well, the fake orb we delivered in a pocket dimension. Don't forget that.
That was created, correct.
Yeah. But
so
we don't have enough time. It's just best to just take the holy water grenades, and then as far as strategy for who to fight first, I personally kind of want to go after Anna's father or mother.
I have an interesting idea for part of the father floor, at least.
Real quick, before you do that, Lucas has gotten up and wandered off. Lucas?
Yeah, the fuck's happening?
What's Lucas doing?
He's going to his room.
Gotcha. Is this something you want to elaborate on, or not at this time?
I don't think anyone noticed he's got up and left. It's fine.
Okay, sure. I'm sorry, Anna. Please continue.
Well, if my father is not doing as financially well as he used to, we might be able to at least convince his men to step down for a bit. It's not foolproof, and I'm not expecting it to be foolproof, but it's worth a quick shot before they start shooting at us, and we shoot at them. See if we can convince them to turn sides. Because they are old dogs that I've known from my past, and I might be able to convince them through that, or they're newbies that started working for this person recently, and they're going to be in a failing court soon enough, and maybe they should jump ship early. The fact that none of you guys are responding is making me very nervous.
It's interesting. I'll give you that. I would not mind trying to bribe them.
I don't even know. Bribing would probably help, but I was just thinking straight up persuasion. He's weak. Why stay with a weak leader?
That's true. It's very true.
Why die for a weak leader?
That too.
Hey, kid.
Yeah.
It's very hard for Lucas to hide these, but he brings it from around his back. He hands you a large cross.
Oh my god. Are you giving Kid your cross sword?
It is just a giant cross. Lucas actually has a second one.
Holy shit. Kid holds it up and then holds it out away from them to try and get a look at this. How big is this thing?
It's pretty damn big. It's almost kid size.
Jesus. They're just thanks.
They were designed to hit I think vampires, right? They're not so great for like silver and whatnot.
They're made out of mega damage, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha. Kid's just like, I don't know how I'm gonna carry this, but I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. Just staring at this thing that's almost as big as they are.
It's got some heft. There's no sharp part to it. It's just a large cross.
Bludgeoning works just as well, I think. Dramatic reenactment. God damn it, Squee. Alright, yeah, I guess Kid's got a giant cross. They're gonna need a holster or something for that. A bag of holding. I don't know.
The bag of holdings are basically just pocket dimensions.
I mean, yeah. How much damage would that do, Squee?
Well, it's not so much it does damage. Vampires shy away from it, so they would be much harder pressed to attack you. So, I mean, you can. I'm sorry. You can. Don't get me wrong. You can damage them with it. It's a giant metal cross. But
yeah, that's why I'm asking, because Kid doesn't realize this is meant to be like Becky demon.
I would treat it like a two-handed mace, so 1d10 plus your strength. But the more to the effect is that you can in front of you, and so it's a little tricky on how it works in 5th edition, of course. I would make them, they would have to make a save or be frightened of you for, I'd say, like at least a round. So that's the way I'd probably do that, because basically crucifixes, real crucifixes like the one Lucas just gave you, vampires, it's no bueno. They don't like it. So if you were to hold, and you'd have to actually hold it out before you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But any vampire, I'd say any vampire within 5 feet of you would have to roll a will save, or it's almost be like turn undead almost.
No, hold
Would this
on.
count as an improvised weapon?
Yes, Lucas.
Let me give you a bit of some details with this thing. So not only is it with mega damage metals, it's also very much of silver, which is supposed to be good against vampires.
Yes, so it would so never mind.
Blessed.
It'd be 1d10 plus your strength modifier, but they'd be vulnerable to it, so it'd be double damage.
And 2, I believe they actually have taken the time to be blessed.
Yes, they have.
They have been.
Which is why I'm letting it affect them, because like just holding 2 sticks together isn't going to do it. It has to be blessed for it to work as a holy symbol. So the way I would count that, and again, I'm kind of spitballing here because this is a Rift's ability that's not in 5th edition, but I'm trying to keep it because we've used it before. If you held it out in front of you like you know what I'm talking about, right, Alor? You know, you hold it out like they do in the movies. And like, be gone, demon, or something like that. They would roll anything within 5 feet of you would will save or be turned away from. And it would do 1d10 plus your strength, doubled.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
I am pleased.
Freaking huge. I believe
in the day when Lucas was going to be able to dual wield that.
I know. I believe it's 3 feet long and almost 2 feet wide at the points. You know what I mean? At the edges.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have like a baseball handle at the bottom.
So it kind of tapers off at the bottom.
Yeah.
Lets you get a grip on it. That's perfect. Oh my god. This is going to be amazing. Kid's gonna hit a home run with this thing.
And Father Retu will look at that and he'll be like, "Oh, you still have that."
Oh, I've just been waiting to use these. I think I actually brought it into a fight that had nothing to do with anything.
Well, it's nice to know that my work's appreciated.
Very.
It was an odd request, but I'm rather proud of it, actually.
Lucas nods, knowing very well he didn't make that shit. It was some crazy artist, man.
Yeah, it was. All he did was bless it, but you know. All right. What else you guys got?
I should probably also tell you guys that I talked to Cathor about cyborgs. If we can manage it, I want to try keeping Sam alive.
Okay.
Which might mean we need to keep Ian alive for a little bit.
Okay. Like alive as in his heart beating? Or
Which one?
He has multiple hearts?
Cyborgs have hearts?
Which person are you referring to?
I'm referring to your shitty dad.
According to Cathor, there's a chance that Sam's feelings might be controlled by him, and if Ian is to die, then he will either die himself or go berserk.
Okay, but what if he was just brain dead, but everything still worked?
I don't see how he'll be able to turn off the thingy then.
Fuck.
I mean, I don't know. This is biological questions at this point.
We'll figure something out. If anything, you could just paralyze him, right?
Should I roll
That
a medicine
only lasts
check?
a couple seconds.
Squee?
What?
Should I roll a medicine check to try and figure that out?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Right.
Well, no. Roll me a techno-wizardry check.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tinkering.
Because this is less a matter of will they still be alive if they're brain dead, more a matter of will that activate whatever Anna's talking about.
Crit 20. Let's do this.
So here's what you know. Your training with Cathor has told you about, not specifically this instance, but he has discussed the distasteful act of putting cybernetic enhancements into people to make them more loyal or to do your bidding, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, to shut off magic and stuff. It screws with magic and psychics.
But also, and he has dealt with the idea that if the owner were to die, there can be command signals that sent to these governors to do specific effects. You know that these signals are sent when the body stops working. They are attached to the vitals of the body, because otherwise, if one were to fall unconscious, so two things. I'm sorry. They are attached to the vitals of the body. So if heart stops, blood stops flowing for too long, and too long means, 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Or if the lower brain functions stop, i.e., they don't want the guy to go to berserk just because they fell unconscious. So if all brain functions whatsoever were to stop, then it could activate this. But being brain dead, quote unquote, does not necessarily mean that the lower functions of the brain, i.e., telling the heart to beat and the lungs to breathe, would still be affected or stopped. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's some wiggle room there.
Hey, Squee.
Yes.
I'm going to put something in the chat, in the Roll20 chat. Will this be beneficial for once?
Scan brain to locate and identify both physical and mental aberrations, damage, and impairment, including bruises, tumors, mental
phobias, accession, traumas. Ooh, that's good.
Because this has never been useful, and I think I said it was never going to be useful. But if it's useful once,
yeah.
In what way are you hoping it will be useful?
Either figure out if the thingies are on Sam, and or if they're in, like, just somehow figure out if they are on or not.
Yes, it would be useful in that matter. It wouldn't tell you, so it's kind of a strange thing, but yeah, it doesn't give you their personality or their thoughts.
No.
But it would be able to tell you if there is something suppressing or altering his brainwaves, which is what these things would do.
Wow, this is useful for one.
You would be able to. My God, actually, this is
time.
incredibly useful. You would be able to tell if someone's brainwaves were altered, if they were not acting or thinking normally, as far as a brain should act or think. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I want this. I want to use this once before the campaign ends, just because.
That would be real nice.
I've been talking shit about it since day 0.
Yeah.
You could use it on Ryle anytime you wanted.
Oh my God.
Why?
I don't know.
He desperately needs attention.
I don't think, hey, I'm going to scan your brain now is a good kind of attention he needs.
All you get is just fish, fish, fish.
What? We don't need to turn Ryle into a hypochondriac.
What?
All right, but yeah, I'd say that would work for the purposes you want.
Holy shit, okay. So I just need to touch him.
Yep. Okay.
And that's gonna be difficult because he's a armored boy. He's a very strong boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you say that, but all you really have to do is rip off all of the limbs and it's fine.
Oh yeah, his limbs are easy targets. Just keep the brain and the spine in check.
Okay, there you go.
Ta-da!
Would Anna also be telling him that said brain and spine might not be in the normal places to expect them?
The spine and brain are not in the normal places you would like, though.
Well done. Also, kid, would you be telling them anything about your siblings?
Yes, they would be telling as much as they could about what they remembered about their siblings' abilities. So should we go over this like in character?
Oh, it is totally up to you. I will let you handle telling them. You can choose what you do or don't say or whatnot. So you can do it in character, out of character, completely your call.
Gotcha. All right. So I guess I'll get the easy one out of the way. Titan was the stupidly big one behind Mother. Not very bright. It's really, really, really big. Yeah, he's just really strong. That's about it. You can get him riled up pretty easily. It's not hard to outsmart him. It's just possible to put him down. Or at least it was. I don't know. The one in the suit, that's Cerberus. Don't know why he's standing up, and I don't know why he was wearing clothes, but it was weird, and now he's all fancy. His face comes apart. It will open up, and it will chomp on you, and it will not let go.
How horrifying.
I think he also spits something on you or something like that. It was really, really gross. And then Naga, I don't know what was going on with the human look, if I guess that was kind of a human look. But that's not what she used to look like. She's really, 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 really long. She's got a lot of legs, and she's also got a face that kind of comes apart, but not as much as Cerberus. She's really strong, but really, really slow, or at least she was. I don't know about her now. And she has this thing where she will get into your brain and make you see things, and make you feel things, and they're not fun. Kid kind of scrunches their face at that. And feeling things. Exactly. God. What are you, my therapist? But yeah, you have to be really, really careful of her, because once she's got you, she's probably going to toy with you for a long time if she can, and then she'll eat you, usually. So yeah, those are the ones I saw. I don't know if everyone else has just been sold off, killed, or ran away like Hellhound, but that's what I got. Any questions?
Anna is going to look over at Theta and go, "You were able to access my mind whatever week ago that was. Do you have things that could counteract that kind of stuff?"
You mean counteract looking into your mind? Or you mean what Naga can do?
Yes. The last.
I would be far more resistant to it. I'd imagine Isaac would be resistant to it as well, though I'm not sure, little brother. How much have you trained your psychic capabilities?
1 second. I just took a big chomp of some veggie straws.
Like Isaac's just like food in mouth, looking at Theta like was not expecting to be asked question.
Yes. Well, I have a lot of... Yes, you would. I have a lot of psychic capabilities. If you want, I can start listing them. Namely...
No, I don't... She's like, I don't need an exhibition. I'm just curious. How strong are your mental defenses?
Much stronger than I am as a techno-wizard.
She'll nod. Then I would imagine that Brother Deer and I would be resistant to Naga's abilities, though the ability to pass that on to others is not a skill that I have.
Nor me. I don't have that. Not that I'm a normie.
Cyber 6 would raise his hand. I've always been told I'm immune to such things, or at least people have tried things in the past and they've never worked. And he kind of knocks on his head. Mostly metal, after all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would be good for that.
I do have a organic core, I guess you would say, but that's more of a... I guess that's closer to a heart than a mind.
Yeah, that's all still very freaky to me. I'm sorry.
Cyber 6 shrugs. I'll be honest with you, I don't understand it either.
Yeah.
But I've always been very resistant to any mental effects.
Yeah.
So is it just psychics, or is it Atlanteans and cybers?
I think part of it could be psychics.
I know some other people, like my grandfather, that used to be able to do the thing that I'm pretty sure you're thinking of, which he aptly named mind block, which is basically just shutting your brain off to all of the other everything. Like if somebody tried to assault your mind with something, your mind is shut, so it's not receptive. It's like shutting a door at... It's hard
No,
to describe.
I only do that emotionally, not mentally.
And you finger guns at her.
She finger guns back.
Theta says, unfortunately, it's not a thing that you can learn. It's usually passed down in bloodlines or among very rare individuals. Isaac and I got it from our father got it from his, and so on. In fact, and he'll look at Isaac, it's part of why father and mother met. They were groomed to be each other, kind of, simply because they were both psychic.
Okay, too much genetically modified children in this room.
Okay, time out. So we were groomed?
Not necessarily as such, and father hasn't been very specific about it. From what I understand, his and mother's relationship was, let's just say mother's family was highly in favor of it, but father and mother had other ideas. You'll have to ask him someday. Point is, mother was psychic, father was psychic, so we are fairly strong. It's a bloodline ability, not a racial.
Okay, I want to quickly understand this, because that might answer why I have certain powers or not. What were Mom's powers?
Theta kind of like thinks back. I don't remember too well, Isaac. What are you referring to?
Well, let me list off what I can do. Okay. I can do a lot. First off, telekinesis. I can move stuff with my mind. I can regenerate using my mind. That I kind of picked up after Grandpa was mad at me over and over. Then, by learning how to fix myself, I learned how to fix other people by analyzing their biological structure.
What? Theta's eyebrows raised. That's a new one. I've not heard of that.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, I learned how to analyze the mechanical structure of machines and understand how they tick.
Theta sits back.
It's kind of like this led to this, led to this, led to this.
I don't have powerful memories of mother, though I do have some. Isaac, I wasn't going to tell you this because, well, I don't know. I don't really care. The memories I do have of mother remind me a lot of your girlfriend.
Really? How so?
Always covered in grease, always working on something. I don't remember what. As I said, I was very young. But it's possible that's where you got your abilities from.
Well, that's neat. Huh.
She shrugs. Again, I was very young. And don't bother asking Dad. He doesn't like to talk about her.
I can imagine. Although he
maybe
did
once
say
it's
that,
all over.
Yeah, maybe once it's all over. He did say that when I said Art or Sophie was a mechanic, he said it was a respectable job, so makes sense.
Huh. Yeah, I'd imagine he would say that. He also has she kind of waves her hand, thing for techno wizardry stuff.
Yeah.
Mechanics just one step down from that, so
Yeah.
and she kind of like thinks back. Maybe. Do you think Mom was a techno wizard?
I mean, honestly, that's what I'm guessing.
It would make sense why he's so. And she like has this realization. Oh, that would explain a lot.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Like, and like Theta has that. Have you guys ever seen like that moment of like, oh God, what's that meme on the internet where the guy's mind exploding?
Oh yeah.
Galaxy brain?
Yeah, Galaxy brain. She has that look on her face like so many puzzle pieces just came together.
Yeah, he was her number one fan. Probably.
I can't imagine father being
Fanboying? I just saw it not too long ago.
She looks like she's just shutting down. Theta EXE has stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
And Cyber6, like after a pause, goes, "So Anna, to answer your question, I think the three of us would be resistant, but I guess not anyone else. Kid, what about you? Did you ever develop any sort of immunity or resistance to her abilities?"
Kid doesn't quite meet his eyes and just kind of scrunches their face.
I see. And Theta would see Kid do that and go, "It's not," and almost looking sympathetic. No, Theta couldn't look sympathetic at Kid, but maybe kind of. And she goes, "It's not an ability you could learn. It's you have it or you don't. It's not. No amount of exposure to it would. It's understandable."
Hannah starts to open her mouth, realize what she's going to say. It might be insensitive, and closes it.
Sure would have been useful, though.
And Father Ratu would say, "So, your siblings, genetically modified, created kill machines. Kid, you may not know an answer to this, or you may not be willing to give it, since of what it would say about yourself, but were there ever any weaknesses built into your design, perhaps for this mother person to use if ever necessary?"
Kid frowns and thinks back for a bit, and kinds of scratches the back of their head and goes, "I don't. Not that I really remember. There was a lot of," and they kind of do air quotes, "negative reinforcement for those who didn't listen." Naga didn't really ever not listen, because what she got told to do was fun. And the air quotes around fun. But
What happens, Father Ratu muses, if Mother were taken out? What would happen to your siblings?
I don't know. I don't think we're tied to her, at least not in that way.
Could they be
at
reasoned
least...
with?
Kid just snorts like, not those, not them, definitely no. I mean, I'm still surprised that Hellhound is the way he is. Like, I wasn't. And then they pause and start thinking, I mean, I don't know. Naga definitely no. She has too much fun with what she gets to do, but Titan's just stupid. Don't think there's much there to reason with, and Cerberus is just a dick.
Also, Kid, and your character would just know this, Cerberus is also loyal to a fault, almost like a canine.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Whereas Kid and Hellhound always had like a rebellious streak, even though Hellhound was, at the time you knew him, too dumb to manifest it too much. You both still had some form of rebellious streak.
Yeah, so Kid would pretty much voice that, just like he's a very good guard dog. They kind of have a bitter tone to their voice as they say that. So in the end, probably not.
That is unfortunate. I do not mind killing evil, wiping it from the face of the earth, whether that be monsters or men. But these siblings of yours, they sound as if they've never had a chance to do or know anything else.
Not really. But they've had 500 years of this, and I don't think, if at all, they're ever going to change at this point. Especially if they're the only ones that have survived this long at her side.
He'll nod.
Wait, how are you from 500 years in the past if I was born now?
I came with
No, how did my
here.
mom go to the... She went back in time to make you guys.
Cyber 6 goes, there is a very large temporal gate up above us that's been here for many hundreds of years. And rules against genetic research were far more lax back then than they are here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Quite honestly, if the CDF knew about your siblings, there'd be, well, a lot of sanctions.
Well, guys, I guess we probably should have gone after them politically, but I guess that's not going to happen now.
We have leveled sanctions.
God damn it, we should have gone to the police. Oh, fuck.
We could have. That was an option, but we didn't want to.
The police come in, and she just comes out, diplomatic immunity.
Fuck!
We already dealt with one of those assholes.
Yeah.
Oh,
fuck that diplomatic immunity. Make him, quote-unquote, murder somebody. That's what happened.
Thought, Isaac.
Instead, you're going the route of Donald Glover and Mel Gibson. You're just going to kill him.
Okay, so here's my thought. It's a really bad thought, but you said that temporal gate was there for several years. What if this explosion we're trying to do with the 2 golden orbs makes a temporal gate?
Would you ask that in character?
No.
Okay.
That's just food for thought, making me go, oh man, that'd be so cool.
Also super dangerous, but yes.
Yeah, it's basically blowing a hole in the universe.
Yeah, it has too many of those already.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was our goal the entire time.
Yeah.
Our goal is a big paradox, not necessarily a hole.
We'll see.
I use C4 and make hole.
Are you challenging me?
Adam may have other motives.
No, shit.
Alright, so anyways, do we still want to plan? Do we want to enact said plans? Because I gotta say, I love the fact that we did this RP, because I learned so much about Isaac and his past in this, like, little hour that we've done this. Hour and 44 minutes. That's how long the session's been going. I fucking love it.
Oh Jesus, it's almost midnight. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in one of those things too as a GM. I'm so happy my players are taking time to plan and take it seriously. But it also has been most of the session. If you guys have any more planning, by all means, that's fine. So I mean, I don't mean that to sound the wrong way. I'm actually ecstatic that you guys are doing your best, even if a lot of the ideas just aren't possible. I love that you have them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a cross. Lucas brought a cross.
There is a cross.
Lucas has been the most productive.
What I'm going to offer, honestly, is if anybody wants Isaac over the next couple of days, because we have a couple of days, to modify their armor, modify weapons, and things like that. He's even going to offer it to his dad. Like, if he sees anything in the armory or wants Isaac to mess around with his gun or anything like that, something minor that'll take a couple of days, no big deal, I'll do it. Because that's what I want to do.
We don't really have a couple days if we are gonna, because we should probably attack during the day with the vampires. We have one.
Well, so that's the thing Isaac would know. There is no day on Zeberon. So they're going to have a cycle still, but when is that cycle? It would be whatever the day was back on the planet they came from. When is that?
Roll intelligence?
Yes, because of your feat. Otherwise, I'd be like, no, there's no way you could. But Isaac has a very keen mind, so
13.
Not keen enough, I'm afraid.
Fuck.
It's been so long since you've been home
fair.
that you don't remember what daytime it is on your planet anymore.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, his dad's been away from it even longer.
Yeah.
Isaac has been on Earth the most recent of anyone, but that's been years. Almost.
No, it hasn't been years. We were on Earth.
You've been. When was the last time you were on Earth?
Slim.
Oh, no. When was the last time you were on Earth in
that area?
Woods?
True.
Yeah, because that was the other side of the world.
Except
I've been with you guys for like 2 years now.
Hold on. I want to make sure I understand this correctly.
Sure.
Okay, keen mind. Let me read this out to you, Squee. I'm not fucking with it. This is straight from the book. You have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. You gain the following benefits. You always know which way is north. You always know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. You can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month.
Right.
So that second part, you always know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset.
Right. So first, here's the thing. That feat is designed for a Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that's true.
You still have it, but you're not on a planet that has a sunrise or a sunset.
That's true. Fuck.
So the way I would look at it is, the way I'm looking at that feat is that your mind is really good at looking up at the sky and judging the angle of the sun, the sunlight, etc., and using those context clues to be like, we've got like 2.5 hours left. And if you're below ground, well, you were above ground a day ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so that's fair. The way I look at it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have very similar things with like timers and things like that, where I just like put a 10-minute timer on and I like get up and start walking before it even goes off.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I'm just so used to it. But yeah, I understand that like that ability, like you don't even have to like know or look or almost anything like that. You just be like, no, it's just like this time. But yeah, I guess it would be like you've been far enough away from it for so long that might not be.
The intelligence roll, to pull it back a little bit, the intelligence roll is because you were on Earth, on Russia. So I was going to be like, would Isaac be able to, cross-reference that? You know what I mean? Like, would he know how far away Russia is from his place? because without knowing where in the world Russia is and where in the world yours is, and it's so hard, and you were close. Didn't quite get the role, I'm afraid. So, I say pick a chime and hope for the best. I will tell you this. I'm not going to screw you guys out on this. I have a time in mind. So, it's very possible you could attack during that time. And the room was silent. Are you guys still there? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, no, I had that panic earlier, too.
Oh, shit. I was muted. Okay, so I'm down to roll a d24. So, we're not going this day, we're going to wait 24 hours, but how much more hours will we wait? Let's go plus 24. So, 1d24 plus 24. Is everybody cool with that?
All right.
Sure.
Okay. So we will attack in 37 hours.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So
okay. I'm
If
just
you guys-
trying to think. What time is it now? We'll say it's the beginning of that first day. We'll say, you know what? Just to keep things simple, we'll say it just ticked past midnight. You guys have been planning all night.
yeah.
That sounds like us.
That does sound like us. So
that would mean you'd be attacking at 1 o'clock
5
in the afternoon.
No, 5 p.m.
No,
Because it'll
No.
be. Oh yeah, no,
1.
no, you're right. 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Ship time.
Yeah, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, ship time. It's just ST.
Yeah. Ship time.
Well, it depends on the number system that the clocks go in this place.
Arabic numerals have spread across the galaxy in an unnerving.
Why? Oh, Arabic. I heard that as Roman numerals, and I was getting judgy.
So you're telling me that time has always been measured in 12 or 24 and 60s?
It's crazy, right? Even when in systems with 2 stars where that doesn't make any sense.
All right.
No,
Just checking. I just wanted to know.
I'm just trying not to hurt my brain too much.
Sorry, math dude, and go like, but which number table are we on?
I imagine that the universe would have had some sort of standardized number system that would probably be closer to binary than ours.
Yeah, just binary. Everything's in just like 0 and 1, and then you just reset it from there.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have a set time, and I am remaining true to my word. I had a time. I literally just said these 8 hours is when they're lethargic. So you picked it or you didn't. We'll hopefully let the gods of the dice be in your favor.
I'm okay with this.
Lucas will go, so if everyone is good emotionally now, everyone get everything off their chests and whatnot, the one thing I'm interested in is I just want to know what sort of gear I want to do for which person. Because I got this stick, as he holds up the cross, for hitting vampires. But what should I bring for everyone else? I don't really know most of the other people, but you guys do, I think.
Hey, Squee, is gun a good answer?
Gun's a good answer for almost any problem.
Yeah. Gun.
That's no fun. It's not like some sort of bio weapon or.
I mean,
Maybe a
grenades could
secret-
probably help in some situations. Look, I am my own weapon. I don't think beyond that often enough.
Like,
I got my
but
pistols.
we're going against like Mother and the
Ian's human, and we're not trying to kill the cyborg. So I think for my dad's floor, it's just going to be
a good thing to know. Not killing the cyborg. How do we do that?
Take out the legs.
Sure. I just like maybe we want to get like a thing that we might have to do the capturing.
Are you gonna kneecap your ex?
I'm not happy about it.
With love.
Kneecapped
Hopefully the
with
brain's
love.
not in his knees.
Well, wait, sorry, Lucas?
What?
What did you say?
Nothing.
I didn't hear you.
And now you never will.
I think that was a too real of Mackenzie and Piph talking coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure was.
Anyways.
Honestly, I was just gonna fucking shoot things with my guns, because that's what I do, that's how I roll.
I mean, I have to show the lightning off around Mother. My pride.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
This is gonna be amazing.
Hell
I was
yes.
investigating lightning things. Never worked. You were a failure.
Alright, you guys bring your guns. I'm gonna ask which places we're going to and try to bring something a bit more thematic.
I mean, you still have 30 clacking teeth.
Don't want to clash with the aesthetic.
Which
I
places
also,
you're going to?
I also have a flare gun that shoots a magical net.
Ooh.
Actually, that might be in my room.
Did you take my flare gun?
You gave it to me so long ago, and I don't think I gave it back.
Lucas, if you want to be thorough, though, should you bring Applepalooza?
I mean, yeah. But,
Oh my god.
So I guess just a quick question. What are the floors that we know exist?
There are 4.
So, yes, there are 4. Vector had control of 1, which will theoretically be empty when you get there. Or at the very least, Vector will be not around, is what he said. There is a floor that has been overtaken by the Master and her brood. There is a floor that is being controlled by Ian and what is left of his syndicate. And there's a floor that is acting as a research lab for Mother and Kid's siblings.
Okay, so there's Kid. There's a gang.
Right, syndicate.
What was the first one?
Vampires.
Ah, the vampires.
If I remember correctly, the vampires are on the floor that's below where we're entering. Ian is the floor above, and then Mother is on the very top floor.
Yes. Okay. And as far as your objectives go, Lucas is most likely with Master, as he is a thrall at the moment. And then I was going to say, and then as far as other objectives, I mean, they kind of are the people. I think the objectives are Ian and Mother.
I mean, we have to kill the Master Lady as well, Master Child, right, because she's controlling Sarah's mom.
Oh, yes. That is true. Though you have not seen Sarah's mom, it is safe to assume that if the brood is there, she will be there too.
Wasn't she in a containment thing or something?
She was, yeah. When you were back on center, she was not turned yet, but she was still under the possession of the Master, and Sarah had made Lucas promise to save her, or I think it was save her or kill her. I don't remember the exact words of the promise.
Something.
Yeah. Lucas, do something.
Lucas got the message. So Lucas will go, all right, so I'll probably get with Kid and ask a little bit more about the Mother situation. But I am very curious. What's left of the syndicate? So, what is it? Just thugs? What do they do?
I don't know who's left until I'm there. It could
Anything
be
that we
old
should be
guys I
looking out
know. It
for?
could be brand new people I've never met.
Okay. What is their MO usually? Stealth, kill, shoot gun?
Kill.
I guess shoot gun.
Violence, shoot. They're probably the enforcers. They're not classy. Like, I was the classy one. She says, drinking straight from a bottle.
Alright.
I mean, I'm going to try and talk them down first, but if they shoot back. I don't care. The people I cared about are either dead or gone. Or here. She says, Saya and Tessa.
Got it.
And I'd say at some point in the conversation, Adele would have joined, and he'll say, "There's one more factor to consider. Wow. If we are going to be using the time spikes to remove the building from contact with Zebron, you should probably all know I can't control where the building goes, but it is constantly shifting its location. And the people inside the building tend to, well, I don't quite know how to describe it. Perhaps Isaac could do a better job of it, being a techno wizard. But when the building moves to a different time, plane, or place, everything within the building, the decor, the people, even down to the weapons and clothes they wear, change to accommodate that time or place.
Okay.
Would that include us?
That would include you. But understand, it is a visual interpretation. I have never seen it affect your abilities or the abilities of the weapons you carry. So it is best to be forewarned. You will look different, but you will not have to act different.
How often does this shift happen? Or is it random?
It is random.
And you can end it once we're done?
I can end it at any time as long as I'm still outside.
Okay. How do we tell you we're done?
Oh, I'll be in contact the whole time. In fact,
okay.
And he'll pat his rifle. I'll be offering support.
Not going to say no.
Which, I want to get this clear. If any of you kill that bitch, I won't hold a grudge. But if I get the kill shot, I expect the same.
I don't care.
I'm pretty sure we're all agreed that she needs to die. Doesn't matter how.
Henna's gonna look at Theta and Kid though.
You guys.
Because now she's not certain about if that deal was a deal that's actually being honored or if Theta was just being a jackass.
Which deal exactly? You have to remind me.
Theta, Kid, and technically Anna made a deal that it was going to be one of the three to take out Mother.
Oh,
and then
well, I mean,
Theta dumped the alcohol down Kid.
Right.
Oh no. That was for Naga.
Was that for Naga?
Yeah, Kid wants to be the one to kill Naga.
I thought you guys were talking about the Mother the entire time.
So I think Kid just wants Mother dead. But I think if I understand, and Alora, Kid wants Mother dead, but Kid's got something personal against Naga.
Oh, absolutely. Kid, honestly, at this point, Mother is second banana right now. Naga's at the top of their shit list.
Wow.
So if they're able to kill her, then that's fine. Whatever. They want Naga dead. head on a fucking platter. And then they're gonna throw that platter in an incendiary fire.
All right, so here's what I am thinking. Because we are getting close to the end time for the session, I did have to start a little late this week. Also, everyone should know I will not be in town next week. And when I say should know, I mean like I should inform all the viewers. I will not be in town next week. It's my birthday next weekend, and I'm flying out to see my sister. Actually, it was kind of funny because my wife was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I was like, "I don't know. Maybe go to an aquarium." She's like, "Not this one. Go to your sister and see," because Atlanta has one of the best aquariums in the world. I adore it. I love going there. So she's sending me there, and also to see my sister. I guess that's a bonus.
Yeah.
So I won't be here next week, and I believe Kinsey won't be here the week after, and we're kind of at a fairly critical point where we need all hands on deck. So we might, you know what we might do? I don't know about next week. You guys are more than welcome to get together and do something, Cards Against Humanity or Jackbox or something. But I think we probably should do that the week after. Just get together and do something.
Yeah.
But so my thought is you guys do any planning that you want, and then next session, whenever that is, I think be like the first weekend or first Thursday of March or whatnot. We start right off with 28th? You guys. Oh yeah, the 28th. Perfect. On the 28th, we start right off with you guys breaking in.
Hiya.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm not saying we're ending right now. I'm saying that I think good. You guys plan away, and then we'll just end the session at a place where next session we start with you guys just jumping right in.
Honestly, the thing that I want to figure out is who we go after first. I think I want to go after Father first.
That makes the most sense to me because he's kind of the least threat of the three. He's human.
Yeah, he's the least major threat. He's going to be on the floor directly above us. It'll let us take care of Sam, whether permanently or temporarily, and then we can, I don't know, shove what's left of his body through the door and back onto the ship. Unless it's a one-way door. Is it a one-way door? Am I just...
No, it's not. And Isaac was able to tell you this because he did bring up when he discovered what the device was that it's a double-edged sword because you could theoretically open it and go to wherever that was. But you guys were like, yeah, but that's also a really dumb idea, so no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So not
all right, so yeah, in that case we can like try and shove what's left of Sam's body through the door back onto the ship and you know, put him somewhere safe while we're taking care of the rest of the building.
Yeah. See,
yeah.
I like this idea quite a bit of using the doors because it serves as a shit, okay, we need to take a bit of a rest. Let's go back to the ship. Let's get whichever NPCs we want and swap them out if needed, and then go on to the next floor. So, like, if we were to conquer the Father floor, we wouldn't necessarily need Cyber 6. But it would be a good idea to have Cyber 6 and Theta when we go encounter Mother. Because of the mind control. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fine with you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Squee, is that okay?
I mean, sure. You guys are more than welcome to pick. I will say, for my sanity's sake, at least with each floor, I'd like you to choose a few NPCs to take with you instead of all of them. But what we can say is that you can have the whole gang there to pick and choose from in between floors, if that makes sense. Because otherwise, I'm going to be running like a party of 10 versus whatever you're fighting, and this ain't Fantasy Ground. I don't know if I could do that.
No. I was only thinking of taking like a couple, and then after we're done with the floor, we swap them out. That was the big thing.
I think that's a perfect idea. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's certainly enough narrative reasons for that. You don't want people coming up from behind you. You need people to hold ground that you've already taken, etc.
Exactly. And I was serious about having Hart check out the biological stuff on Mother's floor while we're dealing with the vampires. Because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I picked up on something a couple of sessions ago about Mother having advanced biological machines that might help Hart with her arms.
It's possible.
It is
certainly possible. I mean, you're talking about someone who specializes in genetic engineering. So,
so you're saying you want to keep Mother alive as well, or?
I don't think Mother needs to be alive, because I think that Hart can figure it out via figuring out the machines. And figuring out, delving in through her notes and stuff.
Like, even during the call, she was making notes on a data pad, so if we can grab that, we can probably get that information.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I want her information, I don't want her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus.
Yeah.
All right. So, if I understand correctly, Father first, Master second, or you'll take it from there.
Yeah, Father first, probably up to Mother, and then down to Master.
Yeah, if the vampire ends up being an active problem before we get to the top floor, then we can definitely take care of it then. But unless that actually happens, there's no point in actively going after them and giving the Mother more forewarning as is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Squee.
Oh, that's
so.
Yes.
Things can be blessed, right?
Things can be blessed.
And that makes them a weapon to vampires, right?
Yes, it would. It works in different ways. What are you thinking? What do you have in mind?
Can we bless Hellhound and turn him into a holy weapon?
No, you can't bless a thing, a person.
Well, what
Why
about
not?
holy fire? That's the most purifying thing of all.
And then Kid just throws Hellhound at things.
Can we bless Hellhound's claws?
Now, hear me out.
Spines.
Mm-hmm. You've said before multiple times, Hellhound is a weapon.
Okay, Piph.
No. That's right. You said so.
You stop it with your logical argument. Get out of here.
But what if, Squee, what if I were to get some magical oil and rub it on Hellhound?
You cannot make a person a holy symbol.
But he has spines.
I'm sorry,
what are you talking about? That's all Christianity's based on.
Yeah, there's Mary, there's the Pope. I don't know where the line ends.
You track down the Virgin Mary, I might consider it. Until then, no.
All right, when was the last sighting? Let's go back in time.
I know what we're going to be doing for the next 5 months.
Yep.
Is a 7 good enough to track her down?
No.
All right. Let's see. 12 investigation. Well, time.
She's not in the Starlock Lounge, that's for sure.
Well, no, that's a D100. That's pretty good, isn't it? Religion's a 6. Jesus.
Fuck, that is a D100. Holy shit.
I was so preparing. I was like, all right, what if we want blessed? They could do it. That might be less the holy water. And then you're just like, how about Hellhound?
Because I already have an entire idea of what if we just bless tigers and use those as holy weapons. This is the discussion I had months ago with people.
Father Retu would tell you it's impossible because Hellhound is.
You cut out.
Oh, damn it!
Discord agrees with me.
The internet sucks. He'd say it's impossible because Hellhound's already.
You cut out again.
Are you
God
kidding
damn
me?
it!
Are you kidding me?
Hellhound is already div.
Fine.
Oh, I see.
It's too late now. The joke's dead. The internet.
It's a new joke now.
The internet killed it like so many other things. Oh boy.
Wait, can we
All
go
right.
back in time and take Pope Francis?
Just fling him at it. But you mess up, you just get Jude Law. Because you saw the historical records, he was a pope.
My 27 investigation says possibly.
Okay, I'll stop this.
You guys go in the Nerve building with Jude Law, very confused.
Is it Jude Law dressed as Watson?
No, Jude Law was in a HBO. Was it HBO? It was some show where he was
was he
a young
Pope?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was Jude. I don't know what Jude Law actually looks like, other than people find him attractive, and that he's Watson.
He's Dumbledore.
Oh,
Young
he was.
Dumbledore, anyways.
I didn't watch those.
I only saw
that's
the
right.
second
You don't
one.
really do Harry Potter, do you?
I saw
No.
the second one. It was kind of fun, but again, I only saw the second one, so I have no context for it. In any case, anything else you guys want to cover before we call it a session?
I guess I'll bring it up now. Hey, kid, what should we look out for the whole mother thing? I know that there might be other, from what I remember, they're called siblings.
We went over that.
Well,
You
no,
were
he's
BRB
saying-
during that time.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well,
Oh, he wasn't there for that?
Lucas, were you there when she described the three siblings?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
I'll give you TLDR, or no, Laura, you can TLDR.
Okay, so Titan is really big and really dumb. There's no reasoning because there's nothing to reason with. His head is full of rocks.
Also,
so is the rest of him.
Laura, because Kid would know this. Titan has no eyes, but very, very good senses.
Yeah. Right. I totally forgot to mention that. Yeah. He essentially sees in not infrared, but
Ultra purple.
or is it infrared?
No, that what you're thinking, Cerberus. He sees through more like sound and smell.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then Cerberus, his face opens up, and it'll bite you real good. And I'm not talking about like crocodile. It's like
Those flower things.
pretty much like if you've seen fucking what is it? Stranger Things, Demogorgon mouth, just blah.
Yeah, Demogorgon mouth.
Grab you real good.
No, the example I came up with when she described it was, if anyone's ever seen Blade 3, that little Pomeranian?
Yeah.
Oh god, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
like
Bern
that.
can explain that. Is it similar to Resident Evil split head dogs?
Sort of. Not quite,
Okay.
but sort of. I'm going to post a picture in the Discord of the Pomeranian from Blade Trinity. That's what it's like. The little bottom jaw opens up sideways, essentially, and it has a little starfish.
So an
jaw.
alien thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Basically, you don't want it to bite you.
Like ever.
Kind of like
Really
a predator
sucks.
and alien mishmash.
I see.
Also, he spits. It's very rude. Also, probably
Acidic?
slightly acidic.
He's got a
Yay.
dipping problem.
Oh, god damn it, Squee. And then Naga, unlike what we saw on the video from what Kid remembers, is very, 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 very long. Lots of legs, with a mouth that kind of opens like that, but not as big. She's very slow, very strong, and she will get inside your head and make you see things that aren't there and essentially paralyze you in place with just ungodly terror. It's fun time. And then Mom's just a bitch.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kid doesn't know much about Mom's capabilities other than she is a grade A legendary bitch.
So
Yeah.
Lucas goes, wait, hold on. Nothing about Mother? I looked at her before. She's got something. She can't just be go my pets. I think there's something with her. I feel like she probably modified herself.
I mean, yeah, I saw the sketches and designs and stuff, but I don't know if she's actually gone through with any of that. I mean, she probably has, considering she's still alive, but I don't know. Just out of the curve. Jesus.
Suffice to say, basically, Mother probably, you guys are seeing little hints and snippets that maybe she has done something to herself. But kids never seen it, so would have no idea what that would be. Just, yep, probably done something.
Yep. And considering Naga pretty much looks like a people now, where she looked like a giant goddamn centipede before, who fucking knows? Like, any kind of trick could be up either of their sleeves at this point. It could just be an illusion, or it could just be absolute, like, metamorphic abilities and shape-shifting abilities. Like, who knows?
Cerberus was also kind of like that to a lesser degree. Not as human looking, but certainly up on two legs, wearing clothes.
Yeah, that was weird. Kid's still not over that. But yeah, a lot of changes, but also not a lot of changes. It's about par for the course at this point. Any questions?
Fair enough. With that, we'll say class dismissed. Yeah, no. I think that you guys are going in there as prepared as you can be. I like that. I appreciate that. We're gonna go ahead and end the session here, guys. And like I said, we won't have a session next week or the week after, but we probably will at least do something during this time. So feel free to come by and hang out with us. We'll have fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next Thursday.
28th of February, 2019.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Ah.